My name is Sarah Berry. I'm a postdoctoral research fellow with the CSIRO. I'm in our agriculture and food department and I work in aquaculture, specifically with prawns. Every day is a little bit different and it could be anything from, your typical benchtop white coat, sort of gloves on science that you see, handling animals at our research facilities, a lot of computer work as well, and we're recently moving into spaces like computer vision and artificial intelligence to kind of understand what our animals are doing. It's less artificial intelligence and more computer vision, so less learning models and more being able to look at images and vision of our animals and be able to see what they're doing rather than having a person necessarily watching hundreds of hours of vision of an animal. We can have our computer models and the computer vision telling us what's happening. It comes from a love of science. Starting out really young, I knew when I was about 11 years old that I wanted to be a scientist. I decided I was going to go to uni, so I went to the University of Queensland and did a Bachelor of Science in zoology. So not marine or anything like that. I just really loved animals, not necessarily water or the ocean, but you're surprised where your journey takes you along the way. I was able then to do an honours degree, and I grew up on Bribie Island, which is known obviously for its beautiful oceans and seafood, and there's a research facility there. I called them up when I finished my degree and I just kind of said, hi. And they said, yeah, come on and we'll have a look around, and then they passed me on some information that got me on a prawn farm in far north Queensland, and then that got me linked with a university, and that meant that I had the opportunity then to do a PhD, which linked me with the CSIRO and industry bodies. I have the wonderful opportunity of collaborating a lot with industry in my position, so I've had another life in industry with the Australian Prawn Farmers Association as their research and development coordinator. Having those connections and knowing industry and their challenges and being able to then use those networks and leverage opportunities with other universities, state departments and other government bodies makes us really flexible in the way that we do science. Anything's possible in the seafood industry. So it's not necessarily just, going out on a boat. There's lawyers, there's accountants, there's scientists, there's mental health professionals. There's all sorts of people that make up the equation and the environment that is seafood in Australia. If you have a love of seafood, but you're not quite sure what you want to do, it's important to know that all opportunities are open, and even if you have a passion for something that's not what you would think is seafood, there is a way for that to happen in this industry and for you to contribute really valuably. It's about being really flexible and enthusiastic and respectful of the people that you approach, because a lot of people will help you if you ask and if you're enthusiastic. Part of my journey was that I just put my hand up and said, hi, I'm interested.